What's up, everybody? This is Z Panther here. You've probably seen me around the Discord. Jim's given me the honor of narrating some games for this tour, and I'm really excited. This game was for Swiss Stage 2, Round 1. This was between DarthTyros, a pretty well-known player in the community, lover of special offense, and Suicune, versus Beignet 2. I think that's their username. Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's get into it. Alright. So Zap versus Tar lead. I'm assuming this is probably a special offense from Tyros. Yep, looks like it. He opted a baton pass and he brings out a Slowbro, of course, resisting the focus punch. That's pretty awesome. Tar's probably going to want to get out of here, I'd assume. Too risky going for HP bug there. And Slowbro T-Waves, that's something that's really cool that Slowbro can do. Has a lot of utility. It's not just like a poor man's Suicune. Brings out the Doug Trio as Blissey Toxics. Definitely probably a beat-up Doug. I'd expect nothing less from DarthTyros. Yeah, of course. But the Toxic's going to make it hard to get this trap off, depending on this Blissey. Oh, no, it eats that up. It's probably a very, very bulky Doug. It looks like Beat Up might not 2-hit KO without a crit here, though. Oh, there's a crit on command. Okay, so we end up getting the trap off. It's going to make Slowbro's job easier. But this Toxic actually allowing Doug to die here is really good for Tyros because it kind of gives him momentum back. He's able to bring that Zapdos in on Skarmory. So Toxicing the Doug actually really worked out for him. And risky protect there on the Zapdos. Definitely going to see a roar here. Let's see, and Regice comes out. Interesting. Probably going to be trying to spam Ice Beam. Skarm's not going to take that well. And he just goes for the Toxic. But Skarm goes down. That's probably a crucial play. Regice getting Toxic this early is not always the best. Of course, Tar is going to scare it out here. See if he has something else. Yeah, Metagross. Slowbro wouldn't have wanted to take that Rock Slide very much, so it makes sense that he'd have a Rock Resist. See, is this CB Metagross? What kind of Metagross is that? Could possibly be CB. Could be. Let's see. Just protecting. Suicune's probably going to scare the Swampert out. Probably have Zapdos. Yep. Makes sense. It's looking like a pretty typical TSS team from Beignet. With maybe like Big 5 Zap, you could probably expect a Gengar in the back. It's a pretty safe assumption. Regice is going to eat up that T-Bull, and honestly, Ice Beam's looking pretty threatening here with no Blissey anymore. Like even T-Tar's not going to want to switch into a stab Ice Beam. It's going to do quite a bit. And there's the Gengar. Yeah, it was looking like a pretty standard. Ooh, unfortunate freeze. That's pretty rough. Regice can't just keep staying in here though. It's getting low. That freeze is pretty unfortunate, and Gengar would have been pretty helpful versus Suicune and Slowbro and all of them. So definitely looking like Tyros has the upper hand in this one. Of course, I mean, he's in the lead by a long shot here. Earthquake will just finish off the Regice, and out comes Suicune. This is definitely an offensive variant of Suicune, just judging by the team style. Yeah, and as he reveals Pump right there, and it does a ton to Zapdos. Not even going to be enough to kill it with Sand, though, so he's going to be forced out. Or he stays in, just to trade. I guess it makes sense. He is going to be outspeeding both the Swampert and the Tar. He did reveal Hidden Power earlier too, so he's definitely Hidden Power Grass. So he's just going to be able to chunk this Swampert. It's not going to kill. He doesn't have a Calm Mind up. If he had like maybe gotten a combined up right there, it would have been GG's for sure. Either way, it's going to be GG's, but... So Swamperd's going to finish off this Suicune, and let's see, is he going to go Slowbro? He is. Awesome. So the Slowbro comes out, and I imagine he'd just surf here. I'm wondering, it's probably Combine, so it's like having a Suicune and Suicune on the same team. It's probably a Combine Slowbro, Combine Suicune. I'd assume, at least. Surf's gonna finish off the Swampert here. I'd imagine Hidden Power Bug will come close to taking out the Slowbro here. Probably not all the way. Yeah, pretty much. With Sand it does. And he just goes for the T-Wave. Surf definitely wasn't going to KO, so not a bad play by any means. And then now I'd expect Metagross. Yeah, of course. And Metagross should, yep, be able to finish this off. I mean, if he missed Smash there, he definitely would have taken an EQ anyway, so it wasn't the end of the world either way. But that wraps up game one. Pretty standard stuff from Tyros. Slowbro is something I know he's been talking about a lot in the ADV community cord, so it's cool to see it used here. Doesn't get a lot of use otherwise, so let's move on to game two. Alright, we have Glalie versus Vaporeon lead. And the Glalie taunts right away. That's going to shut down a lot of things that Vaporeon wants to do. Probably going to expect a Surf here, or a Hydro Pump, as Glalie just gets its spikes up and taunts again. Yeah, this kind of does a lot to... and is he going to spike again? Oh, he just booms on the Doug trio. That is... that's pretty crazy. I mean, Doug is usually pretty important to a lot of the teams that Tyros runs, so... hopefully this guy doesn't have a Blissey. That could end badly. Rachi's coming in here. Definitely showing that it might be carrying Psychic, of course. So Gengar is just going to stay into Will-O-Wisp it. Alright, what's coming up next? And Blissey comes out. Yeah, that could be rough. Maybe Tyros has something like the Metagross on the last team to pressure this. Otherwise, it could be pretty tricky here. Maybe, as hopefully beat up Doug wasn't the only way of getting through Blissey on this team. A lot of special offense teams really rely on beat up Doug, so I'd expect a heal from Beignet here, just to make sure Blissey's at as full health as possible. Yeah, of course. I guess that's a smart play by Tyros too. Say he did get the burn on the Blissey, at least he gets some residual damage as opposed to just going for Psychic. And that Calm Mind from Celebi, I wonder is this Baton Pass to go with Vaporeon and Zapdos? It makes sense if it was. But he's just going to switch out here. And Blissey's going to Seismic Toss. Now Vaporeon can have substitutes that can eat Blissey's Seismic Toss, but does Tyros have something that's going to take advantage of Blissey is the question. Maybe a Heracross or something like that in the back. He just opts to pump the Blissey, who's going to break the sub now. Kind of tough to see where this is going. Baton passes into Zapdos. There's still one unrevealed, and Blissey has just been staying in here turn after turn, and it seems like this team is having a really hard time getting through Blissey. I mean, there's nothing that Tyros has sent in that's making this want to switch at all. Let's see if he calls out the switch. No, he doesn't. Is he going to sub here? Maybe try to get something in the back? Oh, he just forfeits. Okay. Well, it definitely looked like Tyros didn't have anything that was going to pressure this Bliss after Doug went down. That's kind of the dangers sometimes of running special offense. That's why some people might call it a matchup fish. But you know, if you can just have something like a Metagross, maybe over Jirachi. I know this team maybe uh, just goes in a different direction with special offense, but you definitely want to have a backup plan versus Blissey. Okay, and on to game 3. Let's see. Oh, another Vaporeon and another Glalie. Seems like a very a lead both of them are very fond of. Metagross comes out, and Glalie actually crits on the explosion, so it does quite a bit. Let's see, is there a Doug coming out? No, just a Gengar. Bluffing Fire Punch, maybe? Or Thunderbolt? Definitely a Thunderbolt, and that's kind of Jolteon's niche there, is it's really good into Gengar because Thunderbolt is a move that Gengar constantly spams. Looking like it could possibly be the same team from last game from Beignet. We didn't see past the Blissey, so really it could be the same team. And Metagross already down for Tyros, so could be iffy. And here comes Dugtrio. Okay, so definitely a beat up Doug. Yep. And will it do enough? Because Metagross is dead. After lefties, it might not. I don't think beat up's gonna get there after lefties. He just might have to bring in something that's gonna pressure it out otherwise. And down goes Dugtrio. Yeah, beat up did not KO. See, when one of your Pokemon's down, that's one less turn for beat up to hit. So, but Modest Sap is going to be enough to take it out. Ooh, in comes Arrow, and Zapdos crit didn't matter. So, in comes Suicune. Definitely going to scare out the Arrow, I would assume. Maybe it's just going to serve for a pump here. Probably pump. And Gengar takes it, but not well. Maybe we'll see an explosion here from Gengar, Destiny Bond, or maybe just raw T-Bolts again. That's what Tyros is thinking, and it does. It does. Safe plays by both players. And out comes Claydol. Claydol is like the bane of Jolteon. Tyros actually calls it, surprisingly, that he'd go for that. Maybe it was HP Ice because it would also hit Arrow. Or maybe he just expected a Swampert, perhaps. Claydol's already boomed. Really only was out for a couple turns and it's gone. But, you know, sometimes that's the nature of Claydol. And Beignet actually has a second Rock Resist. So, not only is there a Claydol, but there's a Swampert here as well. Definitely Jolteon Baton passing there kind of confirms my suspicions earlier that it was HP Ice as kind of like a mid-ground to hit things. Suicune now definitely looking threatening. I think Beignet could still honestly be in the lead here. It is HP Grass. Now if he just goes Gengar and he booms, he goes Arrow. This could be risky. I think you go Gengar here because you don't want to risk dying off a flinch chance. Maybe his Gengar isn't... Maybe his Gengar isn't boom. Oof. And this is probably over here. Oh, well, Gengar still lives. I mean, he's not really going to be able to do much versus Jolteon, but I definitely think Beignet could have had this one. It ended up pretty close. Tyros making the smart, safe plays at the end, you know, really helped him out here. And I think if Beignet had gone Gengar instead, you know, maybe he just didn't have anything to pressure Suicune other than T-Bolt, and if that's the case, you know, it is what it is. But I at least would have maybe, if you had Wisp, probably Wisp there, because at least that pressures Jolteon if it comes in. That still will chip the Suicune down, and maybe you did live that Ice Beam, so maybe with the Wisp you could have chipped it into arrow range. At least a safer arrow range. But, you know, great sets between these guys. It was a fun one. A lot of special offense, a lot of Glalie. a lot of Vaporeon and Slowbro. It's been awesome. I'm glad to narrate for this channel, and I hope you guys look forward to more from me. And I will catch you guys later.